I'm Rafael Gondim,
And I'm King.
who travel the world with a wonderful son, Gabe, and teach him that anyone can afford their dreams. It just takes a little planning.
I was raised by my grandfather mostly, and he always said that if you don't have the money, you don't need it. And so I've never, ever gone into debt except for education and for homes.
I was born in Brazil. Growing up, my parents always worked really hard. I've never had debt. My dad taught me, if I don't have the money, then don't buy it.
We met as flight attendants and then moved to New York City, and now it's been 14 years of history together.
He transitioned to teaching, and I got accepted into the same program. Our graduate programs were also paid for by our teaching fellow program.
Ended up being a teacher for 10 years in New York City.
The year we graduated, we had started applying for the foster care system. Part of the decision to foster versus adopting is that we wanted to be parents, but we didn't have the financial ability to become parents. We felt, you know what, let's try this foster situation because it's a government funded program. And in 2010, Gabe came into our home. We were teachers. So our money situation was stable, but it was not extravagant by any means. $15,000, $20,000 what we had in our account. We had a friend who had twins. And so she provided us hand-me-downs.
On our anniversary, we were talking and we're thinking, look, New York is an amazing place, but we have some money now saved up. Should we take a year off and just go on an airplane? My friend had just gone on a catamaran trip and the light bulb went off. It's like, wait, we can live on the water. And then we're like, okay, 5 years. We'll work 5 years hard and then that's it. We're gonna go.
They were running between $350,000 to $400,000 for a catamaran. We do not have that kind of money. So we're like, okay, what can we do? Let's start Airbnb in our basement just so we can start saving a little bit more money. April 2017, we go to this boat show and fall in love with this boat. Reach out to the broker.
4 days later, he's like, someone has a boat on the assembly line right now and they decided they don't want it. So you make it around almost 25% off your boat.
And I'm like, let's do it. We had bought a house in New York for $417,000. We reached out to the broker on that Saturday and we're like, if we were to put the house in the market, how much would we make? And he's like, you guys can bring in $750,000. And Monday, we wrote a check for $100,000 as a deposit for this boat.
The year before we started, we wanted enough savings that we could last for at least a year. He lived off my salary and then his principal salary went into the bank. And that's how we were able to save the almost $100,000.
It was always important to have some sort of revenue stream. So Cord has an apartment in Charleston. So he makes $450 a month, but that obviously wasn't enough to sustain the boat. So we knew we had to be able to make money off it. So we're the Wind Expedition, and what we offer people is affordable, all-inclusive vacations. We left New York City September 28, 2017.
The day in the life is mostly us on anchor. We also have to do homeschooling. I do 2 hours a day and Rafael does 2 hours a day, 4 days a week. And then to get fuel, we go to a marina. I think the hardest thing for us is instead of having a car, you have a dinghy. So you have to take your small little boat to land, and then you have to go take a taxi to a grocery store. And then you have to load this dinghy up with all the amazing amounts of food. Our monthly expenses are far less here than we ever was in New York City. We've already paid our boat off completely. So we literally pay nothing unless we're at a marina. So we spend most of our time on anchor, which is free. We're pretty self-sufficient. We have a generator, we have a washing machine, water maker, so we can make water from salt water right here on the boat.
I'd say we're spending probably a third to a quarter living on the boat.
It all depends on how you're living. I spent the last 2 days working on our water maker because I don't want to hire someone at $200 an hour. We work hard 6 weeks a year, and then other than that, we play.
So right now our business is sustaining us. With that being said, we're sitting on our nest, right? And so we have the money from this boat to use for whatever our future goals are.
The way I see wealth is as long as you're saving more than you're spending, you're wealthy.
For Gabe's childhood on the boat is definitely different than other kids. It's an educational experience that he won't get anywhere else. The conversation that we constantly have with him is like, Gabe, career and living a life is about choices, but you're gonna be able to save money to be able to do the things that you're going to do.
Early on, we started a savings account for Gabriel. And any gift that he gets, he always puts 50% into the savings account. I want him to know that he can be financially secure. One of our friends is setting up a stock account. Instead of giving him birthday money, he's gonna start trading stocks. Our plans are kind of up in the air right now. We actually have some retirement. I was saving at the highest percentage in my job for 10 years.
We both still have our master's degree in education.
My advice is don't wait.
Don't be afraid. Just be brave and follow what you want to do and do it.